yesterday as the three ball kept raining down for the Lake Show.
Luka's three-pointer. Good again. Michael, you ever seen a three-point shooting exhibition like this?
No, not since Kevin Durant was with the Warriors.
With only 4 games remaining in the regular season schedule, the Lakers and OKC run it back tomorrow night for another crucial Western Conference battle.
We got to come out with the same mentality, they're number one in the West for a reason. They're a very tough matchup, but we got to come out with the same mentality.
If you would have told us they're going to beat OKC in the Paycom Center by 27, we would have told you are nuts.
Yeah, nobody saw this coming.
Lakers Talk is presented by Hoag Orthopedic Institute. When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. Visit HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com to get the help you need today.
Lakers Talk is on. Here's Andy Kamenetsky.
What is up, Laker fans? Thank you very much for being here on this week's episode of Lakers Talk. It is going to be a shortened show tonight. We have the Kings taking on, I believe, the Kraken coming up at 7 o'clock. That is what is, in fact, Kraken. But we got an hour to get through today. Big implications from last night's win. Maybe one of the biggest of the season. We'll get through that. Want to look ahead to tomorrow night's game in Oklahoma City. The injury report is out, and that has already created some intrigue, plus a big game coming up for the Lakers in Dallas on Wednesday. Luka's return to the scene of the crime. 877-710-ESPN if you want to weigh in. 877-710-ESPN. Definitely want to hear from everyone because yesterday, man, that was a great day for Laker fans. One of the biggest wins of the season, arguably the biggest. One of the most complete, convincing, dominant, and best executed game on both sides of the ball for the Lakers. 126-99 over the Oklahoma City Thunder in OKC. The Thunder at full strength, so no caveats they can throw out there. The Thunder were going at absolute full cylinders, and this was a throttling, an absolute throttling of the best team in the NBA record-wise. We're talking about a team that is going to win somewhere in the mid-60s for the season. They were flirting with 70 for a little while. It's been a great season for the Thunder, and I still think they are, despite this beat down by the Lakers yesterday, if you have to look at the season as a whole, they remain the team to beat in the West. But yesterday, I think, was a statement game, yesterday afternoon, by the Lakers in Oklahoma City, and it was complete domination. And it also came about 96 hours after that loss to the Warriors on Thursday that had a lot of Laker fans upset. I was doing Mason in Ireland that day, so we heard from Laker fans, heard from a lot of people over at Locked On Lakers, the podcast I host with my brother Brian. Available 5 days a week everywhere you get your podcast, Monday through Friday, always free, never behind a paywall. And for the sickos who like to watch, there is a YouTube component. Thank you, DeAndre. Heard from a lot of people in the YouTube comments section, people online at Cam Brothers. There had been a lot of buildup to that game. I know John Ireland, Michael Thompson, who was in studio, Pepe Mantilla, who was in studio, Cappy during Crosstalk. They were all very unhappy about that loss to the Warriors, considering the stakes, considering what was at hand for potential playoff seeding in terms of trying to take the Warriors down a peg, who have been incredible since the Jimmy Butler trade. John and Michael were saying it was the worst loss of the season, which I thought was overstating things. Like, the Lakers did not play as well as you wanted, and other than the Steph versus LeBron of it all, the Lakers did not live up to the marquee piece of this. But
they still lost to a good team.
They lost to a good team, and despite the things that did not go well for the Lakers in that game, they still could have potentially won it. And I walked away from that game disappointed by the result, but in no way shaken in my confidence in this team in the playoffs. But there was some pain to that loss, there were some ramifications, at least potentially, in terms of where the Lakers stood in the playoff race. Sunday, however, snapped back Laker fans to joy. 126-99 to the Thunder. 877-710 ESPN if you want to weigh in. And the Lakers dominated this game in basically every single facet possible. Like, this is an example of how well I thought the Lakers played in that game, just top to bottom, start to finish. Jordan Goodwin only played 7 minutes of non-garbage time minutes, but he did so much well in that game that it felt to me like he was out there longer. Like, there was a point in the fourth quarter where I took a look at the box score and I was like, oh, wow, Goodwin's only played 7 minutes? But I remembered enough things that he did well that it felt like he had been out there. So I want to get into, just on both sides of the ball, how the Lakers absolutely deconstructed the Thunder, and it begins with the offense, or at least that's where we will start. 126 points against the number one defensive rating team in the NBA. They have been the best defense in the league all season. They hold opponents on average to 108 points per game, under 44% from the field, best in the league, 34% from behind the arc, second best in the league. Lakers shot 55% from the field and behind the arc in that game. Just insane production. They tied a franchise record, 15 threes and a half. They recorded a season-high 23 three-pointers. Like, just absolutely insane production. Luka Doncic, who by any reasonable standard has been productive this season for the Lakers since joining the team, but by Luka's standards has not been what Laker fans have expected, have not been, frankly, what Luka has expected. And don't ask me, ask Luka, because there have been plenty of games, win or loss, where Luka has been highly critical of himself, of his own production. He's described himself at times as unacceptable in terms of the level of play. This game from Jump Street, Luka was incredible. He hit his first step-back attempt. It was a three over Isaiah Hartenstein. And as I'm taking notes during the game, I actually typed "good sign?" ? Just like the idea that Luka is hitting his first step back. The step back has been kind of shaky over the last 5-10 games. Luka's three-point percentage kind of shaky over the last 5 or 10 games. Then he hit another step back over Hartenstein. I'm like, okay, it's on. You could just tell by looking at Luka, he was feeling it. And he emptied the bag in this game. Like, Luka was scoring from inside, from outside. He was beating whatever coverages, straight up, switching, hedging, zone. It did not matter. Luka was just in complete control of the offense. He had 22 points at the half, finished the game with 30 points, 11 of 20 from the field, hit 5 threes. And it makes just such a difference for this entire offense when Luka is hitting those shots. Because even with the usages among him, LeBron James, and Austin Reeves starting to level out, starting to become a little bit more egalitarian, a little more equal, Luka still has the biggest single impact over the offense. He still controls more of it than anybody else. So when his shot isn't falling, I think it hits even more so than when LeBron's isn't falling, when Austin Reeves isn't falling. And those guys chipped in as well. You got 20 points from Austin Reeves, a really easy 19, easy breezy from LeBron. 4 threes apiece from Dorian Finney-Smith and Gabe Vincent. And when those guys, by the way, side note, are hitting outside shots, this team's going to be really hard to beat. Like, it reminds me a bit of the 2009 playoff run where Trevor Ariza shot like 48% for the playoffs from behind the arc. Like, each round, teams were daring Trevor to make those shots.
And he shot like 30% during the regular season.
Yeah, but during the playoffs, when it mattered most, Trevor shot like 48% or something for that entire run. In the finals, he and Fisher both shot like 42% or higher. And while I think the Lakers were going to win the championship that season anyway, because they were the best team that year and they were insanely focused. I covered that team. That's probably the most intense of a team I've ever covered for an entire season. When those role players truly step up like that, the margins just widen, and already really good teams, they start flirting with unbeatable. I also thought J.J. Redick made a really interesting move with the offense that may not have jumped out to a lot of people, but I thought was pretty big. Like, there have been some games we've seen where J.J. has rolled out a lineup that I think he often refers to, and I definitely refer to, as Luka and the Banshees. It's Luka with Gabe Vincent, Dorian Finney-Smith, Jared Vanderbilt, Jordan Goodwin. So it's Luka and 4 really active, disruptive, effective defenders. And you definitely get defensive structure around Luka that way. But it also puts a hell of a lot of onus and pressure on Luka offensively. Like, he's the only guy out there that can really create for others. He's the only guy out there that can create his own shot. He's the only true scoring threat out there. Like, Gabe and DFS are shooting threats, but they're not necessarily scoring threats. Sunday against OKC, he had Rui stay out there for a longer shift. It was Luka, Rui, DFS, Gabe, and Goodwin. And then with about 2 minutes left in the first quarter, he put in LeBron and Vando, took out Rui and Jordan Goodwin. So at no point was it ever Luka and 4 non-scorers. There was always at least one other guy out there between Rui and LeBron that you have to account for them as complete scorers. I mean, LeBron, you got to account for a hell of a lot more. But with Rui, you at least have to treat him like a legit 20-point-per-game, very capable scorer. And I just think that makes a hell of a difference, makes it so much easier for Luka. And I thought that was a really good adjustment from JJ, something that I'd wanted to see, and I was very happy to see him do it. But it wasn't just about the Lakers' offense in this game. It was also about the defense. And I want to get into what the Lakers did in this game, where they absolutely dismantled OKC's offense that has been just as prolific and effective as their defense this year. Again, 877-710 ESPN if you want to weigh in. This is Lakers Talk. Andy Kamenetsky, ESPN LA 710.
Open your world to all that SeaWorld San Diego has to discover. Make new connections with orcas, belugas, dolphins, and more. Explore all new depths with Jewels of the Sea, an immersive experience featuring vivid displays of awe-inspiring jellyfish species opening this spring. And set sail on a flavorful journey as you sample your way through an all-new menu at the Seven Seas Food Festival. There's so much more to SeaWorld than ever before. Save up to 55% on tickets, fun cards, and passes during our spring break sale. Hurry, offer ends soon. Taxes, service fees, blackout dates, and other restrictions may apply.
Hey, it's Bethel Duran. If you've ever been in a car accident, you know how stressful it can be. My boy Leo and the crew at Active Collision are there for you. They're the experts at taking care of your business. I'm dealing with it right now. Hit and run. The back of my truck was smashed. I thought it was just a simple fix the tailgate. No. Leo said, boom, boom, boom. This is a problem, Bethel. Let me take care of it. 626-330-0100. 626-330-0100. You'll get a 50% discount on your deductible when you let them know that 710 sent you. Or check them out on Instagram at active.collision.
It's the season of upsets and buzzer beaters. It's also the season of hate and threats directed at college athletes. 1 in 3 high-profile athletes receives abusive messages online, and female athletes receive 3 times as many. 1 in 5 college athletes reports experiencing mental health concerns, but less than half of them will seek support. BetterHelp is partnering with college athletes by providing a free month of therapy to any student athlete who visits stopthemadness.org. Visit stopthemadness.org today.
Hey, basketball fans. John Ireland here. You've seen Austin Reeves rise to the occasion, and now he's bringing that same drive to his latest signature shoe, the AR2s from Rigorer. Built for speed, support, and all-day comfort, these kicks are made for players who never back down. Austin was involved in every step, making sure the AR2s match his game. Tough, versatile, and ready for anything. Go to Rigorer.com, RIGORER, and get your pair today. Rigorer.com.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent are required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply. The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Being young with unlimited energy to burn. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
All guys lose their edge when they turn 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I've heard about Nugenix. That really works?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text KING to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone-boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now, and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text KING to 42424. That's KING to 42424. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. All the latest surrounding the Lake Show, right here on Lakers Talk with Andy Kamenetsky.
A big Lakers win, 30 big points and 6 dimes from Luka, including this pass to Gabe Vincent.
Luka's still dribbling, got to the rim, hesitates, kick it to Vincent for 3. They will not miss from 3.
I don't know exactly. Sometimes I just decide things that sometimes are good, sometimes not. But I knew that he was standing behind me in the corner. That's a pretty good pass, I think.
Lakers Talk is presented by Hoag Orthopedic Institute. When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. Visit HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com to get the help you need today.
Now back to Lakers Talk with Andy Kamenetsky.
It's on the tip of my tongue.
With a sample?
Yeah.
It's Tribe.
Oh, no. I know Tribe uses this in Bonita Applebum.
Okay, cool.
But I'm trying to think the original artist.
Okay.
Who is this, DeAndre?
Ramp.
Say it again?
Ramp.
Okay, I would not have gotten that. I've heard the song. I didn't know the artist. But, yeah, this is the Bonita Applebum sample. And, by the way, shout out to Mike Trudell, who I don't remember exactly how he came across it, but he had an extra Tribe Called Quest shirt, and he procured it to me, and I very much appreciate it.
It was a really nice shirt.
Yeah,
Where
really
was that?
nice.
What
Very
kind
cool.
of shirt? Where was it? Like, what kind of shirt?
It's a black T-shirt with the Tribe logo and the little dancing, almost like Keith Haring figures in a circle. Very much appreciated that.
Nice.
So shout out to Trudell. He said he wanted to make sure it went to an actual Tribe fan, and I very much appreciate that. Want to get into the Lakers' defense from this 126-99 win in OKC over the Thunder. But before that, going to take a couple calls. Mitch in New Jersey. My man Mitch, what's up?
How's it going, Andy? Thanks for taking my call, bro.
Yeah, absolutely.
This thing doesn't sound right. Is this a little better?
Say it again.
This is a little better. Well,
yeah.
It's never going to be that good because, my accent and all that stuff. You were talking, the way you sounded with Luka and the Banshees, is Luka playing center? I know, he does everything. If he plays like he did this past postseason and LeBron's LeBron, we can go pretty far. I'd like to see more of Hayes and Rui. What do you think? They have talent. I'd like to see, I check out the box scores. I'd like to see more of them. If they're on their games too, we're going to be pretty tough. It's going to be a tough series. There's like 6-7 teams in the West itself that can win it all. But if we beat Oklahoma tomorrow, we like you said, the defense was great. Imagine we beat Thunder. I think they're going to they might get the #1 seed. But if we beat the Thunder, that really says a statement there.
Absolutely, Mitch. I appreciate the call, man. And the point that he raised about more from Rui, I think is really interesting. Like, Rui missed the second end of the back-to-back game against New Orleans. It's a game that the Lakers can handle without Rui. But his absence during this season, I think, has been a really good reminder of just how much he means to this team. And I think, I talked before about how when Dorian Finney-Smith and Gabe Vincent are making their shots from outside, like the Lakers become just really difficult, I think, to beat in a series. But Rui, to me, is the bridge between the main three guys, Luka, LeBron, Austin, they are treated like the big three of the Lakers. LeBron and Luka, legitimate superstars by any measure. Austin Reeves ascending. And then you've got guys like Dorian Finney-Smith, Gabe Vincent, Jackson Hayes, Vando, like guys that are very good at very specific roles. And in the case of DFS and Gabe, they can hit some outside shots. They've done it before in playoff games. In the case of Jackson Hayes, he can be a really good source of cheap points with those lobs. And, he is a great rim runner. But none of those guys are scorers. Rui's a scorer. Rui is somebody that he can finish plays as a three-point shooter when you kick out to him. He can finish plays along the baseline as a really good cutter. He is somebody that can hit the mid-range. He can't create his own shot at the level of like LeBron or I would say maybe even Austin. But Rui can create his own shot. And also, most teams, if they are looking to address Luka defensively, LeBron defensively, Austin defensively, they're not going to have a natural cover for Rui. Rui's he is too big, too athletic, and too talented a scorer for most teams to be able to account for defensively while also accounting for LeBron, Luka, and Reeves. So to me, Rui is in a lot of ways really the X factor of this team, just like in the sense that he's the one guy that you don't necessarily expect to put up 20 in a game, but if he puts up 20, you're not going to be surprised. Like DFS putting up 20, Gabe putting up 20, Jackson Hayes putting up 20, that's surprising. I know they can do it, but it's still surprising. Rui, it's not expected, but it's not a surprise. And to me, that's what makes him the X factor that way and just such an important bridge for this team. Gilbert in La Puente, you're on Lakers Talk. What's up, Gilbert?
Hey, good evening. I'm really glad you said what you said about Luka not being the same Luka all the time that we Laker fans expected. Whenever I say that to another Laker fan, they look at me like I'm a Martian or something, like I'm saying something crazy, but he's not exactly the same Luka. There's games where he's been 1 for 7 from 3 or 2 for 8. And, before Luka was almost automatic from distance. So, to hear you say that, it kind of validates what I've been feeling all this time. And I think he's the key to whether the Lakers can win a championship or not. If we get old Luka from the Mavs, I think we'll win it. And if he's inconsistent like he's been, then it's a crapshoot.
Well, I appreciate the call there, Gilbert. And honestly, I don't think Luka is 100% or even close health-wise. Like, I think, he came in dealing with that calf injury, and I don't think, similar to the way Rui has talked about, his knee is at 70 to 80%, and he's really not going to be able to get it all the way back until the offseason. Like, they're doing all the treatment they can. We'll get into tomorrow's injury report, but it involves a back-to-back, which means it will involve Rui. Luka's not at 100%, but they need Luka to be closer and more consistent to the guy that we saw on Sunday than some of these other games where Luka's done good things. Don't get me wrong. Like most games, Luka has done great things. But superstars are held to a high standard, like an exceedingly high standard. It's what makes them superstars. And nobody holds Luka to a higher standard than Luka. I mean, he's talked after many games about his play being unacceptable. So, again, this isn't me saying it. It's Luka saying it. The Lakers, however, though, were plenty acceptable yesterday afternoon versus the Thunder in OKC. 126-99 win. Incredibly dominant offense, but also the defense. Like the defense, the Thunder, for all the focus on them as a defensive team, and they've got a lot of guys who are candidates for all defense this season, they average 120 points per game. Third best in the league in terms of offensive rating. Lakers held them to below 100. They average 48% from the field, 37% from behind the arc, 20 free throws a game. Lakers held them to 43 from the field, 32 from behind the arc, and just 12 free throws. They won the rebounding
battle. That's a beautiful stat right there. 12 free throws for that Thunder team.
Yep, and that's okay. DeAndre, you took me to where I wanted to go. SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, presumptive MVP frontrunner right now. I think he's going to win it. I think he deserves it. 0 trips to the line. Whew. He averages 9 free throws a game and about 7 for his career. 0. This is the first time SGA has played a game with not even 1 trip to the free throw line since December of 2021.
Whew.
Like, you're going back 3.5 years since the last time SGA was held without a trip to the line. And that is so huge in this game. Like, look, SGA actually still had a good game. He was 12 of 23 from the field for 26 points. He had 9 assists, just 1 turnover. Like, he still got his. And that's fine because he is a superstar. Again, I think he's going to win MVP this year, and I think he has a totally deserving case. So it's not that they shut down SGA, but they didn't allow him to get any of the cheap points. And by cheap points, I don't mean like he's grifting or anything like that. I'm not looking to debate the merits of his free throws. I'm just saying those are the easier points that a guy like SGA piles on, often while finishing and ones and stuff like that. And that prevented, I think that was a big thing that prevented the Thunder from ever really chipping away. Like, all of a sudden, DeAndre, they got like a quarter where SGA gets to the line 6 times, makes 5 of them. All of a sudden, the Thunder start getting that much closer. And it also starts feeling like they've got some momentum when SGA is getting to the line. They feel more like themselves. They were never able to feel like themselves because the Lakers managed to defend him without fouling him.
That second half is when I seen it the most. And like I said, we appreciate, as far as Shai Gilgeous, he's obviously the MVP, like you said. But there is times where he does lean in a lot and tries to draw a lot of the fouls. He is a foul hunter. He is. He likes to get to the free throw line. He likes to, kind of flail his
He's
body.
a foul hunter. I think there's a difference between hunters and grifters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, look, let's be honest. LeBron, Luka, Reeves, they are all foul hunters.
But it's like the way he tries to get the contact. He does get his body into him and tries to go up. And
when Trae Young used to seek fouls with his ass, like that was foul grip.
Or the leg kick.
Yeah, like that was straight up foul grip. Like Reggie Miller will now admit.
He'll kick you back in the day.
Right. Like Reggie Miller will now
admit. Ewing did the same thing too.
Exactly. Like, that's different. I think SGA gets the benefit, obviously, of a good whistle. But I also think, like, he seeks so much contact. He's always driving. Like, if you put yourself in that position, you are going to get the line. You can argue that somebody like LeBron should get to the line more, but that's a separate issue from whether or not SGA earned his trip. It just means LeBron should earn more than he actually gets.
Yeah. I think it's a size differential, too. They see LeBron as that's been in stories for long. Like, LeBron's size doesn't get that much whistles. But as far as the defense with this Lakers team, I thought they did a good job as far as like zeroing in on him. As far as when he catches the ball mid-post, he likes to get that mid-range going.
Yep.
They did a good job not only having an extra defender right there, but closing in the gas, making it the driving lanes, what he's used to doing against a lot of other teams, difficult. And double-teaming him and forcing him to kick out to a Lou Dort. Hey, we're begging Lou Dort to beat us tonight. Or Jalen Williams. Obviously, he's a great scorer, but you're going to live and die. Not want to say live, but you're going to take them beating you than Shai Gilgeous.
I mean, look, a team like the Thunder that's really good, I mean, you have to at times pick your poisons. Or at the very least, a guy like SGA. Like, he put up 26 efficient points against the Lakers. They didn't shut him down. But I thought they did a really good job of making him work. And, for example, Rui got matched up in space against SGA on a few possessions, did a great job against him. Like this, I thought this is one of Rui's best games this season, just defensively. Jared Vanderbilt had some possessions.
Just give him a little bump. Just give him a little bump. Not nothing too egregious, but enough for him to like kind of throw him off his tracks, off his lane.
And then Rui in particular, I thought did a really good job. There were a few possessions where he's on SGA on an island, and he didn't bite on the up fakes. He didn't bite on the pump fakes. Like, he stayed home on him. There were times where he forced SGA into a tough shot. There were times where he forced him to give up the ball. defensively, I thought it was a really good game from Rui, but just top to bottom, I think a tone very much set by LeBron. Like, you could see LeBron was in very much, we are not effing around mode, kids. Like, this is a serious game. We are going to treat this game with seriousness. Like, I know I've said that word a couple times, serious, but that was the vibe I kept getting watching this game in Oklahoma City. The Lakers were in we are not effing around mode, and because they won this game so decisively, it's led to at least a potentially interesting decision for tomorrow's rematch, also in Oklahoma City. That game, by the way, is a 6:30 tip, or no, 5 o'clock tip, and 3:30 pregame coverage with Beto Duran. You can obviously hear it right here on 710 ESPN. Interesting decision potentially shaping up for the Lakers in this game by virtue of winning. Get into that coming up next. Lakers Talk, Andy Kamenetsky, ESPN LA 710.
Losing your home in a wildfire is devastating, and the fight for insurance money shouldn't make it worse. Jacob Imrani is helping families impacted by the Eaton fire, suing Southern California Edison, and holding insurers accountable.
First, I didn't know what to do. I heard what you were doing for my buddy by loading his car up. He calls me, he says, guess who's loading my car with water? Jacob Imrani. Right. I mean, for real. I said, well, I'm going to talk to Jacob.
Call him at 844-24-JACOB, 844-24-JACOB. Visit him online at calljacob.com, and together we are LA Strong.
Call Jacob. Baseball's my favorite sport because you can fail 70% of the time and still be a legend. Like my diet. Now your top reasons to visit Morongo.
Big League Gift Giveaway. Get a pickleball set when you earn 500 points on your rewards card. The 15th.
Number 2.
The Good Times Pizza Company's brick oven cooks your crust to perfection. Get it to go today.
And the number 1 reason.
Desi Banks. Live April 25th. Get tickets now.
Morongo. Good times.
When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. We are ranked number 18 in the nation and number 1 in Orange County for orthopedic and spine care by U.S. News and World Report. From the surf to the green, our world-class doctors are there, which is why more Californians choose Hoag Orthopedic Institute for orthopedic and spine care more than any other hospital. At Hoag Orthopedic Institute, there is no one better at getting you back to you. Proudly founded by premier physicians in partnership with Hoag. Learn more at HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com.
Quarterback Jordan Love isn't just on Green Bay's team. He's also on the American Family Insurance team. Because like us, he believes in dreaming fearlessly.
Just chase your dreams and don't let nobody hold you back.
And we help protect those dreams with the right coverage so you can
dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
A great lawn is like a great sports team. It takes expertise and a little extra care to really stand out. That's where True Green comes in. They're the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour, so they know a thing or two about keeping grass looking like a fairway. It's more affordable than you think, and they'll even match any competitor's price. Plus, True Green backs it all up with a satisfaction guarantee. Head to TrueGreen.com today. Let the pros do the work while you sit back and enjoy the results.
The biggest show on the radio. Mason and Ireland on 710.
I wanted to know, when everything's said and done, do you guys want to write an autobiography?
No.
That was quick.
I want to write a book, but I don't want it to be about me.
Yeah.
You have an interesting life, John. That would be kind of dope. Not kind of. It would be dope.
I've got like 30 pages of a fiction book.
That's what I'd want to write.
Fiction.
Aspects of me, but not about me.
So
I don't think I would not write an autobiography. I don't think I'm that interested. I got to be honest. Plus, I've said everything on the radio. What else can I put in a book?
I'm sure there's things that we don't know that people would want to know.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah, no, I'm never going to go that deep. This is as deep as I get.
Yeah, right. But I see Ireland writing like a
tell-all.
The OGs of LA Sports Radio.
Tomorrow at noon.
Mason and Ireland on 710 ESPN.
This is Lakers Talk with Andy Kamenetsky on 710 ESPN.
Just 4 games left before the Lakers hit the playoffs. And Austin Reeves knows this final week of regular season games is massive.
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. They got the best record in basketball, I believe. And where the standings are, you could go from third to, I think, eighth in snap of a finger. So for us to come in here and play such a good team the way we did tonight is big. And, hopefully we can continue that momentum to Tuesday.
It's the home of the Lake Show and the home of Lakers Talk.
Lakers Talk is presented by Hoag Orthopedic Institute. When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. Visit HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com to get the help you need today.
Back to Andy Kamenetsky.
I need some security. I need some guarantee. Tell me what you're gonna do. Show me.
Got no idea.
Lynn Collins.
Lynn Collins. She occasionally performed with the JBs, I think.
Yes.
James Brown's backing band. What is this song? I like this.
Put it on the line.
Put it on the line.
Yes.
Yeah,
nice beat.
I mostly know Lynn Collins just from the work with the JBs.
I found this the other day. I didn't know LL Cool J, 50 Cent, they sampled this. So,
Dude,
yeah.
Those guys all came up in the crate era, where you just went through the crate with all the albums. And
and you find something.
You just
literally
found
something,
and you put that down, and that is your sample. There's the Sly and the Family Stone documentary that just came out. It's on Hulu. It's directed by Questlove. It's really, really good. But there's a great scene where Jimmy Jam, by the way, friend of the station, former member of the Time, producer extraordinaire, Janet Jackson, Rhythm Nation. But there's a scene where he's talking about how he and Terry Lewis are out to dinner, and they've been working on the Rhythm Nation album, but they can't figure out, like, the foundation of that song. Like, they know what they want the album to be. They know sort of how they want it to sound, but that song, they haven't quite figured it out. And then Sly and the Family Stone, Thank You for Letting Me Be Myself, starts playing, and that one part, that doon, 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 like all of a sudden this light bulb goes off over Jimmy Jam's head, and he's just like, this is it. He's like, this is it. Like he said he called for the check at the club. Like he was like, we got to go now. We got to get to the studio now. And they just start, yes. And they just start playing this on like an old-fashioned like sampler loop or whatever, where you only have like a 7-second window to do this, and they just start playing it over and over. And Janet came into the studio, and he's like, listen to this. And she's like, is this Rhythm Nation? He's like, yep. She's like, okay, we got this. We got this. And like, it's awesome stuff. But like, they break down some of the Sly and the Family Stone samples where they've been used all throughout hip hop and soul and other stuff. Like LL Cool J, Mama Said Knock You Out's got a really prominent Sly and the Family Stone sample that, I'll be honest, I did not realize was Sly and the Family Stone, but like the
really? Okay,
yeah,
wow. Okay.
I did not know that. It's from Sly and the Family
okay.
Stone's first album. I don't remember the name of the song off the top of my head, but like I had no idea. And I was like, oh my God, that's Sly? I had no clue, but just highly recommend this documentary about Sly and the Family Stone on Hulu. Want to get to what is interesting about the injury report for the Lakers and tomorrow, but real quick, got a question on Twitter at Cam Brothers from at Metal Hoopshead, the Don. What's a reasonable expectation for this team? And he asked Western Conference Finals. You guys think that's reasonable?
Very reasonable.
Yeah. I mean, I can't think of another team other than OKC that can come out the West and the Lakers.
I agree that it's reasonable. I'm not saying it's going to happen, and I'm definitely not going to say it's going to be easy. Like, I don't care who the Lakers match up with throughout the playoffs. The West is a B, man. The West is hard. But I do think Western Conference Finals is reasonable because the Lakers are currently the 3 seed right now. Houston is the only team. The Thunder's number 1. Houston's number 2. And Houston's good, but they're very inexperienced. Like,
yeah, they don't know how to win yet.
They are really inexperienced.
In Denver, Jokic got to have like a 50, 10, 20 game.
I mean, Jamal Murray, Michael Malone has said he's not even sure Jamal Murray is going to be available for the playoffs.
Wow.
And if Jamal Murray is not available or if he's at like 50%, I know that dude gives Laker fans nightmares with all the game winners he's hit, but that team all of a sudden starts becoming incredibly Jokic dependent. Like, that is a lot to put on Jokic. And it leads to tomorrow, by the way, where the Lakers have put out their injury report, and it feels like the rematch against the Thunder might be a punted game by the Lakers. Rui is already listed as out. They've got the back-to-back coming up. OKC tomorrow, Dallas Wednesday. Clearly, they are setting up for Rui to be available on Wednesday. But then you've got LeBron, Austin, Luka, DFS, Gabe, all questionable for this game. Like, other than Jackson Hayes, Jared Vanderbilt, Jordan Goodwin, there is nobody guaranteed to be in the rotation that is listed as available as of now. You've got 5 guys as questionable, Rui out. This could be setting up for the Lakers punting this game against OKC and trying to put their best foot forward against Dallas. They're in a place right now where if they win 2 out of 4 games, 2 out of their final 4, they clinch the 3 seed. They have to win, I believe, 1 out of 4 to at minimum make sure they stay in the top 6. Like, as long as they don't go 0-4, if they go 1-3, they will at minimum stay in the top 6. But as far as keeping that 3 seed, they have to win 2 of the next 4 games, which means theoretically punting OKC, it's a luxury you get from winning that game on Sunday, but it puts a lot of pressure on them to win Wednesday in Dallas, like in a game that is going to be incredibly emotionally charged.
Well, I think they were going to come out with their guns blazing anyway. It's the Luka game, Luka and AD game.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, no. Look, between Luka getting his first potential revenge game in Dallas and all the emotions that go along with Luka playing in front of that crowd for the first time, that, by the way, could very well be more behind Luka than the Mavericks. Or at the very least, like, they're going to be cheering the hell out of Luka.
They just don't like Nico right now.
Yeah, they don't like Nico Harrison. And I think they're going to have a lot of mixed emotions in that game. Like, maybe they're going to be rooting for Luka to go scorched earth, but the Mavericks somehow win by a point. But in the meantime, like, Anthony Davis is going to, I think, want to beat Luka in front of those people.
And not even that, the Mavs need that game because they're in a play-in. They're in a play-in position right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, there are implications for the Lakers. There are implications for the Mavericks. There are implications for Anthony Davis, who seems very much, I mean, Nico traded for AD in part because of the relationship they had going back to Nike. Same type of bet that he made on Kyrie Irving, relationships. AD seems pretty dedicated to the idea of, I am going to get the city of Dallas off Nico Harrison's neck. Like, he seems very much dedicated to that idea, which is a very tall order right now. AD, he still is not right, and he has not looked great since his return. He's had one great game winner against the Hawks. You know, he had a great play, game-winning shot, and then he ended up guarding Trae Young in isolation, forced him to a miss. But AD, for the most part, has not looked like AD. But you know he's going to want to bring something both to the Lakers and to Dallas fans. Like you said, Funchy, there's going to be a lot lined up in terms of energy and focus and importance, urgency, all that for the Lakers anyway. But doesn't change the fact that all of a sudden that game becomes really must win. Because if they say drop this game tomorrow against OKC because they're playing nobody, contextually it doesn't make you worry about the team. It still counts as a loss. Now you've got to win 2 of your next 3 games if you want to guarantee yourself that 3 seed. Maybe the Lakers feel like, look, a lot of these teams are playing against each other, like Denver and Memphis play against each other. Minnesota and Memphis play against each other. The Clippers and the Warriors play against each other. Like, some of these teams are just going to cancel each other out, and the math will likely work in their favor. I get it, but it adds an interesting wrinkle. I'm not even against them punting the game if that's what they decide to do, but it's interesting. It's an interesting way to go about doing it.
And don't forget they got Houston on Friday,
yes,
too, which is another big one.
Yeah.
They got to win that one, too.
They have to win that game. It'll be interesting to see where Houston is in the standings. Like, if they've got two completely locked up, like, they can't catch OKC. It's just going to be a matter of, can the Lakers catch them? Houston maybe decides to rest some guys, but I got to be honest, if I'm Ime Udoka and I know I've got a team that young, I want to keep them locked in. Like, I am not looking to rest anybody unless maybe it's Dylan Brooks or Fred VanVleet, the older guys, or if there's a younger guy who truly needs the game off. But otherwise, I would want to keep these guys, because they're young and inexperienced, as focused and dialed in as possible, which would mean Houston looking to win that game. And who knows, Portland might still be, by the final game of the season,
looking for that play-in spot.
They still might be looking for that play-in spot. Like,
I totally forgot they're still fighting for that.
Yeah, I mean, I will check the standings right now, but the last they've been eliminated. They've been eliminated. Portland has been eliminated. So,
well, best case scenario is that Lakers win all. They beat OKC tomorrow. They beat Dallas. They beat Houston, and they can just play, the scrubs on Sunday versus Portland.
Yeah, look. The best thing for the Lakers is to avoid the play-in altogether, because beyond the fact that you've clinched the playoffs, you get a week off. Like, you get basically a week off, and this team could use it. And I did not realize that the Blazers actually have now been officially eliminated. So that does remove that one layer of intrigue. Like, they've got the opportunity to take out Portland even easier than you might expect. But it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out tomorrow if nobody ends up who matters tomorrow against OKC. Going to close things out, as always, with a little crunch time. Funchy's got the questions. DeAndre and I got the answers. That's all coming up. Lakers Talk, Andy Kamenetsky, ESPN LA 710.
So Mark Real from Real Fathers writes, I always say on the air, you have to have the right family law firm that is going to get you the happiness you deserve and the justice you deserve.
Really, the legal system is designed and set up for fathers to fail. I set out to create a firm and to create something that would help all men navigate that successfully.
We have a new phone number for Real Fathers Rights.
833-ESPN-710.
And RFR710.com.
Yes, RFR710.com.
Open your world to all that SeaWorld San Diego has to discover. Make new connections with orcas, belugas, dolphins, and more. Explore all new depths with Jewels of the Sea, an immersive experience featuring vivid displays of awe-inspiring jellyfish species opening this spring. And set sail on a flavorful journey as you sample your way through an all-new menu at the Seven Seas Food Festival. There's so much more to SeaWorld than ever before. Save up to 55% on tickets, fun cards, and passes during our spring break sale. Hurry, offer ends soon. Taxes, service fees, blackout dates, and other restrictions may apply.
NextGen is the official AC heating, plumbing, and electrical company of SoCal sports fans. That's right. Is your heating and AC system ready to power through the season? From quick tune-ups to full replacements, NextGen has you covered. For a limited time, ESPN LA listeners can get a heating and AC tune-up for just $88. That's right. Stay in the game all season with an $88 heating and AC tune-up from NextGen. Call 833-3-NEXTGEN today.
NEXGEN. Call 833-3-NEXTGEN.
It's the season of upsets and buzzer beaters. It's also the season of hate and threats directed at college athletes. 1 in 3 high-profile athletes receives abusive messages online, and female athletes receive 3 times as many. 1 in 5 college athletes reports experiencing mental health concerns, but less than half of them will seek support. BetterHelp is partnering with college athletes by providing a free month of therapy to any student athlete who visits StopTheMadness.org. Visit StopTheMadness.org today.
Hey, basketball fans, John Ireland here. Austin Reeves has been playing lights out, and now he's bringing that same energy to his brand new signature shoe, the AR2s from Rigorer. Designed for top performance and comfort, these kicks are for players who grind just like Austin. He was hands-on in crafting every detail, making sure the AR2s deliver on and off the court. So go to Rigorer.com, Rigorer, Don't wait. Own a pair of Austin Reeves' shoes. That's Rigorer.com.
It's crunch time on Lakers Talk.
When the clock is ticking and it's all coming down to the wire, you know what that means.
This is crunch time.
3 super quick things before we get into Crunch Time Lakers Talk. Andy Kamenetsky, ESPN LA 710. First of all, shout out to the folks on the YouTube page for Lakers Talk. Appreciate everybody leaving the comments, everybody interacting, everybody looking forward to the close of this season and the playoffs for the Lakers. Second, shout out to Raider Rubin, who hit us up to let us know that the song I was talking about, the Mama Said Knock You Out by Sly and the Family Stone, that sample, the song is called Trip to Your Heart, and he recommended an app called Who Sampled if you're ever looking to find the sample.
I know that website.
Okay.
Yes.
So shout out to Raider Rubin. And then third, DeAndre wanted to bring up something involving the Rockets, the Lakers' opponent on Friday.
So we know on how close the standings are, and the Lakers still have a chance to get into the second seed. And obviously, depending on how the Rockets do, the Rockets actually face the Clippers on Wednesday, on the same day the Lakers face the Dallas Mavericks. So that's be another matchup to look out for, because knowing how close the standings are in the West.
Dude, it's almost like incestuous is the wrong word, but that's how it feels. Like all these teams are just kind of cannibalizing each other, like in some ways. And again, that might lead the Lakers to feel confident enough to potentially rest everybody tomorrow night in OKC, really gear up for the game in Dallas on Wednesday. But we are going to close out, as always, with a little crunch time. Funchy, what you got?
So in honor of the national championship, which is going on right now, and I believe Houston's up by 34-31 at halftime. This happened in 1993, 32 years ago. Remember this, Andy.
A 2 to tie. Michigan have to bring it.
Oh, he walked it. The referee missed it.
Weber brings it into the front court. They have no timeouts remaining.
Oh, he caused it too many timeouts. That's a technical foul.
He called a timeout. Michigan doesn't have any.
He got by with a walk, and Jimmy calls the he calls the timeout. He doesn't realize that's Michigan's too many, and so it'll be a technical foul. North Carolina shooting and the ball. A huge mental mistake.
So 32 years ago, around this time, Chris Webber had the infamous timeout. Has Michigan and North Carolina played the 93 championship game? Forever, Chris Webber lives in infamy, has that guy that cost his team the national championship.
This is really one of those, I remember where I was watching that game. I was with my friends in college. The house we lived in near USC, it was called literally Casablanca. Like those were the words across it, because it was a white house. And we were all watching that game, and like everybody just stopped because like, wait, what just happened? Like,
you guys stunned at the walk first, and then the timeout,
yeah,
or
like,
was the whole sequence?
All of it, because you never see something like that happen. That's part of the reason that it is stuck for so long to Chris Webber. That and the fact that I think Webber never won a championship.
Never, ever.
And he was Chris Webber was a great
Hall of Famer,
great player, really great broadcaster.
Oh yeah.
Terrific broadcaster. Seriously. And really, really smart dude. He's like a historian. He's got a Black History Museum, essentially, like in his
home house. Yes, yeah.
I mean, he's a really bright guy and a really great player that deserves to be in a lot of ways.
I know he needs to be remembered
for something
exactly.
else. By the way, too, Chris Webber, a little bit ahead of his time in terms of the type of versatile big men that you see now.
Oh my God! If you played today,
like he never had the 3-point shot that some of these guys have, but he was an incredible passer.
One of the best passing big men I've ever seen.
DeAndre don't even remember no Chris
I know
Webber.
He does not.
I wasn't born until
I know you were not. Shut up. All right, what else do you got, Funchy?
And also, just remembering the 5-5 and the Duke. I mean, not the Duke. I'd say North Carolina and all that stuff too. Yeah.
Fab Five. Black Sox.
The Black Sox, I know, is so monumental that they, the Black Sox and, the baggy shorts and Jalen Rose, Juwan Howard, and all those guys.
Fab Five was a great documentary, by the way.
It was really good. It was really good. You want to talk about a time where basketball was too, quote unquote, black and hip hop for a certain slice of audience? that came through a lot with the coverage of the Fab Five. Like you look back on it, man, that coverage was
I mean, you could probably YouTube some clips or whatever. Yeah, and there's some brutal clips.
So racially tinged, the coverage of it. Even like the people that weren't looking to be mean-spirited or racist with the coverage, but you could just see that it was a different world than so much of what mainstream American sports coverage even knew how to cover.
And like Grant Hill was like so hated because he went to Duke, but he's still, he was still a great, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like it was just, this is 1993.
I know.
I mean, it's not that long ago, but it is very long ago when it comes to stuff like this. And again, I've always felt bad for Chris Webber with that being so attached to him because again, he was a great player in college.
The only person that stopped himself from winning a championship was himself and Robert Horry.
Yeah. I don't feel as bad for him about the Horry piece of it. I got to be honest. the Horry piece of it, Webber not ever winning a championship, I can live with that part of it pretty easy. He had plenty of other opportunities. It's not just on Robert Horry. By the way, though, those Sacramento teams were so much fun to watch.
Oh, man.
They were so much fun.
So deep, too.
They were real, like, top to bottom, that team that lost to the Lakers in 2002, they were more talented than the Lakers top to bottom.
Was Corliss Williamson on that team,
Corliss
too?
Williamson.
Yeah, he was so good.
Bobby Jackson. Bobby Jackson was
so good.
Mike Bibby was in 2002. He had replaced Jay Will.
That's right.
I mean, Vlade, they were good. They were really good, just not good enough. All right, that is it for Lakers Talk. Appreciate everyone calling in. Appreciate DeAndre. Appreciate Funchy. We will be back next Wednesday, I believe, from 6 to 8 p.m. Coming up next, Kings versus Kraken. Again, thank you, everybody, listening to Lakers Talk. Andy Kamenetsky, ESPN LA 710.
Travis Rogers and DeMarco Farr.
Tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. after Greeny.
How do you like micheladas? How?
Do you not like tomato juice?
No.
Well, then you wouldn't like micheladas.
I know. How do you guys like those?
Because they're wonderful.
They like tomato juice.
Do you like those?
I don't because I don't like tomato juice.
Yeah. Do you not like Bloody Marys?
Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
I made micheladas this weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, Marco.
Yeah? Good?
So good.
Okay.
So good.
Tomato juice.
I like to
Happy
line
for
up
you.
all of my things.
Me too. Yeah.